Well, it's a pleasant good morning and welcome to our breakfast show, Good Morning Leone. As always, this is the program that starts your day with news, analysis, and views of national concerns. We are your presenters. I am Emmanuel Samuel.
And my name is Frances Bernard. A pleasant morning here at Broadcasting House. And we start with our quote of the day, which is from French author Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, and it says, "Perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away." Coming up in the program this morning, government reduces the pump price of fuel to 33 new and 35 new Leone.
And chairperson of the National Commission for Democracy speaks on the role of the presidential town hall meetings in the country's democracy.
And 50-50 women's group trains women in agriculture in the western urban area. These stories plus more, including your messages, which you can send to the number on your screen, or you find us on our Facebook page, slbc.sl. This is Good Morning Sierra Leone.
Well, the program you are watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone live on the SLBC. We start the program proper to our first headline story that has to do with fuel, which is among the burning issues currently. The government has approved a reduction in fuel pump prices effective immediately, following a meeting between the government and oil marketing companies on Monday. The new prices represent a reduction of 2 leones on petrol and 5 leone on diesel from the previous rates. The reduction comes amid mounting public pressure for price cuts following the sharp decline in global crude oil prices and weeks of calls from citizens, civil society, and the Sierra Leone Labour Congress for adjustments to reflect international market trends. In the studio to discuss the new price list and other issues surrounding fuel reduction and increase, we have been joined by the Director of Operations, the National Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Samura and Sumana Tunti. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Sierra Leone.
Good morning and thanks for having me.
Samura, this reduction, people want to know, how did you guys come about just reducing 2 leone and 5 leone? Because people are saying, instead, in fact, there should be no reduction. You just reducing 2 lane and 5 lane, looking at the global reduction of about 40%.
Thank you very much. I want to express my satisfaction for you hosting me this morning, and we have had so many misinformation around petroleum prices. What had happened is on February 28th, when America attacked Iran, the world being a global village, prices of petroleum products increases. Let me state that in January, February, price for refined petroleum products was around $636 per metric ton. As of pre-war in May, it was around above $1,500 per metric ton. So you see that difference. It's almost over 100%. And what happened yesterday on the 29th, there is a drop. Okay, we are very transparent at the authority, and we have always been communicating. We said we are not increasing price because we want to bring suffering on the people of Sierra Leone. We are increasing price just because we want to bear the burden of what is happening around the world. So in April, on the 2nd of April, government announced subsidy. What that means, prices of petroleum product that you see on the pumps, we are not the actual price. Government was subsidizing. And then people started announcing that there should be a reduction, Yes, when America and Iran had a draft MOU, prices naturally react. But at that time, the prices were still very, very small movements. And even on Sunday, when they announced that they have had electronic signature of the MOU, prices still reacted. But then even on Monday, Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz again. As I'm talking to you, yesterday in the evening, they just announced a truce that the Strait of Hormuz will open. Prices are naturally moving up and down, they are fluctuating. What had happened is currently prices are around $990 to $1,000 per metric ton. You do the math. Is that number same as the pre-war number of 636? No. So we reduced the pump price because we have assured the public that we are doing a 2 weeks review. Even on the 16th, we reduced pump price. Pump prices were reduced, but we did not announce it. Like in Liberia, they announced reduction in fuel oil. Sierra Leone, if we announce reduction in fuel oil, people will say it's an insult. The most important commodity is petrol and diesel. So that's what happened yesterday. So we reduced petrol. Even with that reduction, there is still some amount of government subsidy. What had happened? Let's take this mathematics. What you are seeing in oiltrading.com, it's the price for crude oil, and that is 72.26 or what decimal per barrel, and 7.33 barrel equals to a metric ton. 72 multiplied by 7.33. They will not tell you that. They will just want the Sierra Leonean public to know, oh, price is reducing $72.
So, Samuel, let's talk about, let's make it very simple for the layman to understand. Because all what you're saying, 77 metrics, and the common man or the layman is really not interested in it. All they are interested in what reflects on the current pump price of fuel. Yesterday when I called you, you said, okay, we are in the process of, we are committed to reduce when necessary. So let's talk about how soon we are going to see a new reduction, because when the prices went up, you wasted no time in increasing the price. But now that the prices went down, we have to, the public have to cry to make sure that you get these prices reduced.
No, it's not the public outcry. You know, we have a stated period which we, if we all follow the news, in Gambia, it takes the president to announce to the Gambians that on Sunday, he said on Wednesday, he's going to reduce petroleum pump price. Is that not time? So we wasted no time in reducing. Like I said, what had happened over time is, because we have not been communicating that we have reduced government subsidy to ABCD. That's why the public is saying, oh, reduce now. Okay? What we are doing at NPRA is we monitor the Platts on a daily basis. Not Platts for crude, but Platts for refined petroleum products.
So you're saying you've not been communicating to the public to say that you've been subsidizing for fuel. What do you mean?
No, like I said, when government announced in April that government is subsidizing, that message was already in the public domain. But the 2 weeks review, to be coming to the public every 2 weeks, we have reviewed and ABC at the prices, we are not communicated. Because what happened is, in all of this review, pre-2nd April, on a 2 weeks average, we are reviewing prices. So what had happened? Price for fuel oil and kerosene had been reducing because of the Platts, but the price for petrol and diesel is still way up. So government continues to subsidize. So that conversation is not.
So is that why we've not seen a serious reduction in the prices?
That's as it is. We are still in a subsidy environment. Even in America, it takes the, how do they call it? Is it the finance sector or what sector to state that prices of petroleum products will not be pre-war numbers until 2027. I do not say that. And we will not say we are not going to reduce pump prices. We will reduce pump prices at any time that the Platts for refined product points to reduction. We have assured the public, and we have, I guess we can go back to history to look at it. 2024, July, October, November, all of it we reduce pump prices. We are not going to wait for the war to, what I would say, to escalate, then we say, oh, we are increasing. No, we'll continue to review pump prices and transfer those gains to the public.
But Samoa, when you look at it from what Francis was saying, when pump prices go up in the world markets, the NPRA, you are swift to review the prices. But when it drops, you are slow to review the prices.
No, we are not slow. It's just that the communication, what happened is, today I see a number on the internet, which everybody can do, I'll start shouting, oh, prices have gone down, prices have gone down. But most people will not say, oh, price has increased. No, they have not done that. So what had happened over time is, because of the, how do I say, because of the instability between America and Iran, prices fluctuate. And we don't want to come to the public today, we announce a price, tomorrow we come again for another price. So that's why we said, okay, let's have a two weeks review. So if you check on the 2nd, on the 22nd of April, on the 30th of April, on the 6th of May, 30th of May, 16th of June, and even yesterday, 29th June. Just check, it's the 2 weeks period.
So, Samuel, do you want to agree with me that you only reduced this pump price after a serious pressure from the public, and you even had some civil society organizations threatening to go to the streets? Because they are even saying that the reduced price is really not commensurate to what is happening across the world. You keep saying that there's a difference between the crude oil and that of the refined oil, which is true, but we want to know what's the different prices that they have. So maybe that will help us to guide our thinking.
So what happened is, crude oil is the raw material used to get refined products. You have to mine the crude, you extract it, take it to a refinery, to being refined to different products. Mind you, not only petroleum products you get, you also get even what we use for roads, bitumen, we normally call in our local language coal tar. You also get it from crude. They are all refined products. Okay? So what we are saying is, the two prices are not the same. Refined product, once the crude is extracted, that's the price for crude. But the product has to be refined into several products. You will have petrol, diesel, jet, fuel oil, naphtha, bitumen, etc., etc.
So
all of those come from crude.
So Samuel, let me just talk about diesel and the petrol. At the height of the war, when the Strait of Hormuz was closed, the price for metric ton for refined petrol was around $1,300.
For what product specifically?
Petrol.
What of diesel?
Now I'm talking what for the diesel it was around $1,400.
Okay.
Yeah, metric tons.
Yes.
But now currently,
yes,
the price for petrol is around $840 per metric ton. Is that not true?
For which grade? For which grade?
Then,
for which grade?
So which grade are we using instead?
Then also for diesel is around $890.
So it ranges between 9 to 1,000.
No, it's around $890.
No, around 890.
So you see, you did the NPRA did just 5% decrease, and when you look at these figures, they are telling you that the international market price for refined products, the reduction is more than more than 5%.
Okay.
So why did the NPRA did 5% decrease to just 2 leons and 5 leons?
Okay, thank you very much.
Because now I'm now putting the figures, the refined figures.
Let's just take your numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
Pre-war it was 636. What you are quoting now is 8. Is that not so?
Pre-war it was 636.
Yes.
At the height of the war it was over 1,000.
Yes. So now let's just take your number. Let's forget about the height. Let's just take your current number.
Yes.
636 and 8. What you are saying? 8 what? What's that difference?
830.
Let's say already $200. $200 is what percentage?
But you increase the fuel. The fuel was increased. The prices were increased.
Let's just take the numbers. The numbers compared to the increase. It's pre-war and current. Is that not what we are doing?
We are doing at pre-war, the height of the war, and the current.
But at the height of the war, we told you government is subsidizing. Is that what we are showing?
No, that's why we are looking at the figures now.
So now the height of the war, it's like you said, 131415. So, and it was still some of the civil society. Let me say this: they were the same people advocating on social media for government not to reduce subsidy 2 weeks ago. Just check their social media pages. No, I'm just saying, some of them, they were the same people that was advocating for government not to reduce subsidy 2 weeks ago when the prices were skyrocketing. And today, government had done a reduction. They are still saying it's not enough. Yes, we at NPRA or government as a whole does not want to increase petroleum pump prices. No government or no citizen wants that. But it's just the nature of the business.
So, do you want to agree with me that government has allowed these business owners in fuel commodities to actually dictate the pace at which things are done in Sierra Leone?
No. I beg to differ, and I want you to rephrase that question. First of all, we want to thank our operators. It's a frank discussion.
So why do you think I should rephrase this? That's why
I'm just explaining. Okay, we want to thank the petroleum operators. Okay, all throughout this period, we do not have a semblance of scarcity across the market. Like we said, the market has been wet.
Because there was enough, even though it was expensive, but there was enough.
Yes, so we want to thank them for that. And secondly, what we want to say, these oil marketing companies don't dictate how the petroleum products are managed across the country. No.
Why do you think?
Because what happened is their obligation is source the product, land the product to Freetown. That's it.
So you determine the price.
Once they land the product to Freetown, the prices and all costs involved is determined in the pricing formula.
Alright.
So the operators have nothing to do.
So who controls the pricing formula?
Today I want to the pricing formula is we are the custodian of the petroleum pricing formula. So NPRA.
So we should not cast the blames on the oil.
So if the public
want to bash, we should bash the NPRA.
No, that's why we are the servants of the public.
If the public wants to bash, we have to bash the NPRA.
Okay, have you listened to social media commentaries?
No, that's why I'm asking the question.
They are bashing NPRA, not the operators.
No, like
I said, we are servants of the people.
There are some
and we take the blame.
Some people,
because That's why we have been paid with taxpayers' money.
Some people are with the thought that, you know, the OMC controls the NPI.
No,
now
no.
It's better now. You are now coming out to the
No,
public
no,
that
no, no,
the
no.
NPI is the custodian of the prices.
Yes.
So if prices skyrocket, people should squarely blame the NPI.
If you have been following what is happening, you know, even the civil society or the public, they come to us at PIA with whatever it is. They will charge us, but we are custodian of the pricing formula. That's what the law has said, and we are servants of the people.
All right.
So we are responsible for the people.
Thank you very much. He is Samuel Ansumanatonti, and he is Director of Operations, National Petroleum Regulatory Authority. This is Good Morning, Sierra Leone. If you have questions about the new price of fuel price in Sierra Leone, just send them. We have the right person in the studio who will definitely answer them. And for now, we move to another issue. We'll come back to Samuel for more on the fuel price. The annual presidential town hall will take place in Makeni today, Tuesday, 30th June. The president will answer questions from citizens across the country on issues of governance, tripartite, global development, and his legacy. The program is organized by the Ministry of Information and Civic Education to bring the government closer to the people as a way of enhancing democratic accountability. The venue is rotational. The first was held in Freetown and the second last year in Kerema. This is Makeni's tomb. According to officials from the Ministry of Civic Information and Civic Education, the town hall meeting is strictly by invitation. But what do these presidential town hall meetings mean for Sierra Leone's democracy? In the studios with us this morning, we have the chairperson of the National Commission of Democracy. She is Marian Samuel. Good morning, Marian Samuel. Welcome to Good Morning, Sierra Leone.
Good morning and good morning, viewers.
So, what does the holding of these town hall meetings mean for democracy in Sierra Leone? Having in mind that most of the time it is by invitation.
I always say, and I'm saying it again in this media, that this is the best thing that has happened in our democratization process in Sierra Leone. For the first time, this country and the executive have taken the decision to face the people directly. Because here we have the people asking questions from where they think they need explanations, which for most of the time they do not have. Because the people that are closest to them are the people in the legislative, the parliamentarians. And for most of the time they do not get direct answers from them. Now that the executive have decided, well, the president is the head of the executive, they have decided to be meeting the people. I think this is the best thing that has happened in the democracy of this country, which indicates that we are growing. There is no more barrier between the people and the executive, the government, because democracy, as the popular saying goes, is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And this particular program, the Ministry of Information and Civic Education is undertaking right now, it explains inclusivity of the people into the governance infrastructure.
All right, Madam Samuel, town hall meetings are very good in development communication. This is a sort of the participating model. You want people to participate in what government is doing and government agenda. However, the process is a concern. If you're saying you want the public to talk to the president, and then you are going to do it strictly by invitation, then there is a concern that yes, you are limiting people. It's only the people whom you want them to, the people who you think will ask the question you want to hear, that you will invite. How about that?
I don't believe that, because I was present, and the one for Freetown, the one for Kenema. Unfortunately, this year I was unable to go for the one in McKinney. But I believe the process, from the kinds of people, the population I have witnessed attending the previous town hall meetings, it caters for officers of society, from school children, civil society activists, people in governance, because they have to answer some of the questions, the ministers, parliamentarians. I mean, it cuts across. The only thing I want to believe, I'm not in the Ministry of Information for them to plan, is sometimes you have, you cannot allow everybody to get into a program in a situation where you, like the meeting place has to take about 200 people or 500 people, and you just leave it open like that, there will be chaos.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they are reduced, they have come to the situation of doing it by invitation. But I don't think they are not getting to, they are taking by sectors. Okay. Every sector of the
so
society.
let's talk about, this is not the first time we've had the one in Freetown and the one in Kenema. Now the one in McKinney is underway. Let's talk about the outcome of this meeting. How has the meeting, the holding of these town hall meetings, impacted the life of Sierra Leoneans? What are some of the impacts we should be pointing at? That it is because of the holding of these town hall meetings that we are seeing so and so developments in our country.
I believe as one of the things, the people are given the opportunity for direct involvement, making their voices heard to the responsible persons that are supposed to take actions. If they go to a town hall meeting and the community, the people in the community say X, Y, and Z have not been happening, and we want to know why and when it will happen. And I believe since the town hall meeting started, some of the issues that were brought out into public, definitely the president's attention is being drawn to them, and especially the MBA, the ministry that's responsible for taking actions. They are being called upon to take action because the people want to know why they are not happening in their communities and when they think they should happen. I believe, and I want to believe, I'm not taking stock of the previous town hall meeting in Kenema, the issues that came up, whether they have been addressed or not. I believe actions are being taken to address because they are directed to the people who need to know and who need to take actions directly. So I believe speaking out in public, and this thing is broadcasted live, we give the people the opportunity to be talking to their president, to their head of state, directly or indirectly, even if he's not present, but he will get it from the people. Sometimes when there are these middlemen that we go and tell the president that this is what the people want, sometimes it's possible that they might not be telling the president exactly what the people are saying or what they feel, but giving them this opportunity to come out and speak for themselves, I think that's one. Let's give it a plus. That's one of the good things that's happening, and I want to believe that any well-meaning government, if the people are crying, telling you that this is what not happening, or what do you have to say, and you make promises, you promise them that we will take action, definitely action has to be taken.
So, Madam Samuel, being that you've been following these town hall meetings, you know, Sierra Leoneans are not too against the idea, but Sierra Leoneans are mostly concerned about the organization, how it is being organized, and every other thing, the processes, you know, to these town hall meetings. So, as NCD, as Council Democracy, people that push for democracy, have you seen this particular initiative being that inclusive in the way people ask questions? People are free to ask the questions that they want to ask. In the previous, all of the other town hall meetings that you've witnessed and been part of?
I think, yeah, I believe people are free to ask the questions because in the first place, they put out a notice that they might not allow everybody to ask questions or people will not everybody will be present to ask questions, but they ask you to send in your questions ahead of time, so that if you are not present at the hall, you have the opportunity of sending your question ahead of time, which might come up. One thing I want to let our people know that even when you are present, there is timing, because the program has time factor. So if you are given the mic to take, you cannot be given the mic to ask questions for 2 minutes. That, like we know, some people want to take 10-15 minutes asking questions, and several people want to be given the opportunity to ask the questions. But I believe the organization, that's why we want feedback. I always say, when you can see these programs coming up, give feedback. The Ministry of Information is open. You can send in your feedback if there is anything you believe that's not going correctly. At one of the meetings, somebody complained of not giving enough time to ask questions. But I have been in one of the meetings. Some people, when they want to ask questions, they start first with preamble, explaining long history. And this is what we have again to maybe educate the people on public meetings. If you want to ask questions, go to your point directly, so you have time to hit directly on what you want to ask, what you want to know, and how you want people to respond to it. So timing is also important, and I want to appeal to those particularly going to the programs that want to ask questions. Try to write down your questions, so you spend less time instead of going through a lot of explanations before you get to your question.
Thank you very much. She is Marian Samuel, the chairperson of the National Commission for Democracy. All viewers want to take our health tips for today. We take a look at MCI versus dementia. Both mild cognitive impairments and dementia affect memory and thinking, but to different degrees. Look at the symptoms and how each is diagnosed and managed.
Memory lapses can be unsettling, especially as we age. But when does some forgetfulness become something more serious? That gets at the heart of the difference between mild cognitive impairment, or MCI, and dementia. They both affect thinking and memory, but in very different ways. Both involve changes in the brain, but dementia typically reflects more advanced or widespread damage. MCI is a decline in memory or thinking skills that's greater than expected for your age. It's a term used to describe memory issues that are noticeable but not severe enough to interfere significantly with daily life. Dementia, on the other hand, describes a decline in mental ability that gets in the way of your everyday life. With MCI, symptoms often center around memory. You may misplace items frequently, forget appointments, or lose your train of thought. Dementia affects memory and also independence. People with dementia may struggle with language, judgment, problem solving, and tasks like paying bills, preparing meals, or navigating familiar places. In short, people with MCI may need reminders. People with dementia often need assistance. Healthcare providers diagnose MCI through medical history, cognitive testing, and sometimes brain imaging. For a dementia diagnosis, providers use these tools and look for a significant impairment in daily living. Treating MCI focuses on managing underlying conditions and promoting brain-healthy habits like exercise, social engagement, and mental stimulation. Dementia is often treated with medications to help manage symptoms. You may also benefit from supportive care, safety planning, and caregiver support. MCI may progress to dementia, but other times the impairment stays the same. It may even improve with proper treatment. Dementia typically worsens over time, but treatment can slow progression. If you or someone you love is experiencing memory changes, don't ignore them. Talk with a healthcare provider. Early evaluation can provide clarity, guidance, and peace of mind.
Well, the program you are watching is Good Morning Cielo live on the SLBC. I hope you've learned a lot from that short video that talks about MCI versus dementia. You can go to YouTube and learn a lot from that. Well, we go over to another issue that has to do with women. The 50-50 Women's Group have organized Women's Advocacy and Climate Skills Building Workshop aimed at strengthening the capacity of women affected by climate change to influence policy and advocate for improved agricultural support. The event brought together representatives from the Ministry of Gender, Agriculture and Environment, as well as women from climate vulnerable communities across the Western area. In the studio to talk more on this, we have been joined by Memuna Tusise. We have been joined by
Julia Bokai,
sorry, to talk more on this. Madam Bokai, good morning and welcome to Good Morning Cielo.
Good morning.
When you say women affected by climate change, I want you to put it into context. The women that are affected by climate change. Do we have women that are not affected and women that are affected by climate change?
Well, viewers, women are more in agriculture these days and before. And we are getting more aware of the changes in climate and how it affects women. So because climate is erratic now, we have to train women so that they will be able to know and to be able to adjust when they are doing agriculture. Without us teaching them, without us making them aware of what is happening, the erratic changes that is occurring in climate and how it's affecting their plants, their crops. If we do not inform them, we do not teach them, we do not raise awareness, then we go into losses. Their crops, will be damaged by flooding, by heat. So the best thing we did was to bring them together and to teach them on climate change. Because if they are aware, they will know exactly how to go about their planting in the seasons. That is why 50-50 took this initiative to bring women together so that women in particular who have been, since in the Bible, we have been in the garden. We are aware that we are always in the garden. We relate more with the garden. And since we relate more with the garden, we want to raise more awareness on how to manage ourselves in the garden.
Okay, so Madam Ban, you're talking about women in the garden. Do you want to help us to know which type of are we talking about large scale? Well, I don't want to say farming because in the Western area we really don't have that vast land for large scale farming. But let's talk about which set of agriculturists are we talking about here?
We have different communities that we are operating. Leicester, Gloucester village, and even the Western urban. We are working with different even the city council. They have offered us land around Rube area. So in these communities, women are planting cabbages, they are planting carrots, runner beans, potato leaves, and different kind of crops, onions and spring onions of course, and tomatoes. So if you see most of these tomatoes in the market, the spring onions and the rest of it, within the Western urban, they are coming from Leicester, they are coming from Gloucester, they are coming from other communities in the New Englandville. So we have certain areas that women are doing agriculture. Never mind, they are pushing them.
Okay, so I was just going to talk about the availability of land, because in the Western area, even when you have a waterway, people will go there to put up structures. Let's talk about you preserving a land just for planting purposes. How difficult has that been for you to be able to maintain these facilities that you are talking about, so you continue to keep your women in the garden? Otherwise, the next few years we will not be talking about farming in the Western area. How have you been coping with people, land grabbers, people coming to grab these lands that you are using for your agricultural purposes?
What we do is we encourage women to lease land. We talk to the community leaders, the stakeholders in the community. In case their lands are taken, we relocate them. Yes, we relocate them. Some of them have gone to Waterloo.
But there will be a time where you don't even have a place to relocate them.
Even
the rate at which things are going.
Well, actually, if we don't have place to locate them, we encourage them to buy crops from Kabbalah to bring in Freetown. But the city is getting tighter for women to do agriculture actually. That is the fact. But we are relocating them to other communities. We are talking to the chiefs to give them space so that they can continue with their planting. Because women economic empowerment is very, very viable. If we refuse to take note of that, the women will suffer, and that is not good for any country.
So let's talk about the workshop that you organized. What were some of the things that you told these women, and what are some of the things that they should watch out for if they want to continue being in this business of their gardens?
Well, we teach them climate change adaptation. Yes. We also teach them how to use user-friendly tools. We encourage them to go in for better seeds, quality seeds. We show them how to get income loan to continue with their agriculture. We also encourage them to ensure that timing, quality is very, very key. What we also encourage them to know is not to depend too much on this imported fertilizer. We encourage them to make their own so that we can have our own natural food instead of imported food. So those are some of the things we teach them.
So Madam Julia, you can agree with me that some of these women, they've gone through several trainings, institutions, organizations have trained them, and you brought in this your training. Let's talk about the sustainability of the impact that you want to see at the end of the day, because this is where always we have problem. This is where people usually equate some of this initiative to white elephants, initiative, because people always see when you give out these trainings, sustainability aspect of it is always the question mark, and an initiative that is not sustainable can be classed as white elephant. Let's look at the sustainability model of your initiative for these women that are badly affected by climate change.
Well, what we encourage them to do is we don't just look at the climate, we look at also things that we help them sustain their life, sustain themselves if there is climate change. For instance, we teach them on backyard gardening. So if there is erratic weather condition, if you have backyard gardening, you can sustain yourself. If there is any issue of seedlings, getting seed, quality seed, or finances to further their agricultural process, we also teach them how to do microcredits. We teach them how to come together as a group. Sometimes we make them do osusu. Osusu means all of them come together and give some amount of money, and they give one person every month so that they will not be economically stranded in any circumstances.
Do you have any monitoring mechanism to monitor these women to ensure that which you've given to them, they can sustain it and others could possibly learn from them?
Yes, we do monitoring. That's why we call them regularly for meetings. That's why we do visitation. And then we do assessments. We go and assess the gardens. We don't just sit back and think they are doing well. We support them in different ways, so that for any situation they face, they will have something that they will fall back on. We don't just leave them like that. We do monitoring, we do assessments, we support them, we give them further trainings.
So since you started this initiative, what are some of the success stories you may want to tell people out there?
The successes they are economically empowered these days. Before, you don't see them, more involved in agriculture. They thought it was a difficult task. But since we started training them and empowering them, they are more, relying now on agriculture because the soil cannot lie for you. If you engage in the soil, if you plant, you continue planting, you will not be economically, downtrodden.
All right, thank you very much. Continue to stay with us in the program, where we still have Samura and Sumana Tonsi from PRE in the studios with us. We are still talking about pricing formula for petroleum products in Singapore, and he's still with us in the studios. Now, Samura, let's talk about you continuously talking about you continue to monitor the price, and just now you said even if the price is reduced further today, you go again and you do a review and you come back to announce a new price to the people of Sierra Leone. But let's talk about you've been monitoring. Yesterday we had that because of another issue between Trump and Iran, the Strait of Hormuz were closed. And again, at last night or so, they announced that they are going to open it. I don't know if it's opened already this morning. So let's talk about how serious is the PIA, not only to focus on the oil marketing companies, but also the people, the public, the interest of the people, because fuel is a commodity that no one goes without. So if it's expensive, then the burden goes back to the people. Let's talk about how care and sincere is the PIA for the interest of the people.
Thank you very much. We at NPIA and as a government are very sincere and seek the interest of the public first, because they are, how do I say, they are our employers. We are there because of the people. If the people are not around, we do not have an office. Okay, that's why we have a very transparent formula, and we have done price reduction not only yesterday, but we continue to do price reduction. Like I said, if you go back and
but this time around, this is not what the people were expecting.
No, so what happened is I was just doing some rough mathematics. If we go back to pre-war, which is 636, to yesterday, let me just take my brother's figure, 830. The difference is around 194, which if you do that on average, that's around 37%. Okay, so if you transfer that to pre-war numbers, it's around 38 leones compared to what we have now. I'm just taking his numbers, not official numbers. We are just saying. So that shows how transparent we are as NPRE to ensure that the people of Sierra Leone do not suffer for high petroleum prices. As it is now, government is on the verge of setting up Sierra Leone Petroleum Company. This company will trade like what is happening in Guinea, where you have Sonam, what is happening in Ghana, where you have Goil, what is happening in neighboring Liberia, where you have LPRC. So all of this, what happens once you have a government company, this company will compete with the oil marketing companies. So they will import as well as government will, like the operators. And what will happen? We'll have price differentials.
So since you are talking about neighboring countries, have you been following what's happening in Burkina Faso?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Are we hoping for such situation in Sierra Leone?
You know, it's always a challenge to see what is happening in Burkina Faso, and you want to replicate in Sierra Leone. We have these same civil societies. They will come at you again and say ABCD. But like I said, we are always looking for homegrown solution.
Just like what is happening in Burkina Faso.
To help avert the suffering of Sierra Leoneans. We want to reduce energy poverty to the lowest of numbers. What that means is we want people to get petroleum products as affordable as possible.
So Samuel, what you are saying, you want people to get petroleum products as affordable as possible, and the government is thinking about setting up its own something that will start petroleum company that start importing. So people should bear with this price until
no. This price will continue to review this particular price. But like I said, we'll look at the numbers. So tomorrow, let me say this, please. Tomorrow, if the numbers keep reducing or decreasing as they are 2 weeks ago or 3 days ago, okay, we'll transfer that to the pump as we have done. So we are very transparent.
So Samuel, from what you said all of your adjustments, you are looking at the suffering masses.
Yes.
You understand? Then I go back to what I said.
Yes.
It was pre-war, it was around 600.
Yes.
Then it went to, during the height of the war, 1,300.
Yes.
Minus 600 is $700. So you have $700 increase, and then when it comes down to $840, then you look at the 600, which is pre-war, it's $240 increase. So we're thinking about why not the PRA reduce it more, because let's say we already have $240 increase, and as opposed to the when the war was on its height, which was $700 increase, now we only have $240 increase. So why not the PRA reduce it more?
So like I said, I'll just do a mathematics. That number will translate to around 37 or 38
somewhere
per liter. So what will happen is, like I said, as it is, we are still in a subsidy environment where government is losing money just to keep the pump price economically affordable. We will continue to review these numbers and translate every gain.
So why was the same 5 million reduced from diesel not down to petrol?
They are two different products and two different numbers. If we have similar numbers with the petrol, we will reduce this.
All right, thank you very much. He is Samuel Ansumana Tozi, and he is the Director of Operations NPRA. Good morning, Sierra Leone is the program. We still have Madam Samu in the studio with us. But quickly we go through the papers, Emmanuel, before we go back to our guests.
I start the ball rolling with the Gleaner newspaper, and it says most bridges completed within a decade. President Bill marks infrastructure milestone. This story is plus more you find in the Gleaner newspaper.
From the Gleaner newspaper, we go to the Standard Times newspaper, and something interesting here. FBC unveils stunning mini stadium design for bicentennial celebration, and Vice President Jallo amplifies the Global South voice in Hamburg. These and more you find in the Standard Times newspaper.
And the next one I have here is the Independent Observer newspaper that says Dr. Mohamed Jude Jallo, a bridge builder for national unity and development. WAEC, who is fooling who? US green card no longer guarantees the way home. The story is plus more defined in the Independent Observer.
From the Independent Observer, we go to the Awareness Times newspaper. Awareness Times, in a letter to President Julius Maada Bio, Labour Congress demands further fair price cuts. HEBO joins judiciary and family to honor late Justice Maturi Jones. 77 Signal Hill fire victims benefit from emergency cash assistance. These stories plus more you find in the Awareness Times.
And the final one I have here is the Pyramid newspaper that says 25 Sierra Leoneans graduate from Russian universities. SLFA Congress ends in unity and approval. Bull Rangers crowned champions. Elephants win 4th title in 5 years. These stories plus more you find in the Pyramid newspaper.
And our final paper for today is the African 24 newspaper. African 24, this is painful. This is quoting honorable member of the APC from Gambia. And in 2028 elections, any Togi will be challenged. This is quoting Honorable Lai Maga. And Sierra Leone's national operator is back built for you. These and more you find in these newspapers. You must be reminded that views expressed in these newspapers do not in any way reflect the views of the SLBC. We are merely saying what the papers are also saying. So this is Good Morning Sierra Leone. We still have Madam Samu. Now, Madam Samu, the Makeni Town Hall is underway, and what do you think should happen? What are some of the questions are you expecting from the public?
Sorry. There are too many questions before preparing to ask. And one of the major things as we move around Makini, they are asking is the issue of electricity supply. Makini is currently very down on electricity. I know, I'm suspecting that question must come out. And also, there are other developmental issues. The people always, when you talk to the people of Makini, they think they are now being sidelined sort of in terms of development. But
what do you think as somebody head in the National Commission for Democracy?
Well, I believe every government has its own agenda. Like this.
And it should be national.
And it should be national. I remember when the last regime was in power, Kenama was complaining that there were no development, their roads were not being made. Okay. So this is common. Okay. Definitely, Makini is the stronghold of the opposition. So you will think that if developments are going on in other areas, of which they also want to have a bite in that cake, and if very little is being done there, they will complain.
All right, thank you very much, Madam Samuel. We still have Madam Bokari with us.
So Madam Bokari, before we leave you, what would be your message to viewers out there with regard this particular initiative that you guys are pushing?
Well, for me, 50-50 that I'm representing here is encouraging viewers in Sierra Leone to protect the land. It's very, very key. You know, if we do soil conservation, it will also support women. Stakeholders, NGOs, the government, if we all come together and then support women in agriculture, the nutritional level of the country will increase. Then poverty will be reduced. Because women are actually holding the bread basket in the country.
Okay, so thank you very much. She is a Madam Julia from 50-50. We hope those who have ears to listen will listen to this call that you've made, because it is a very important call. We still have with us Samoa and Sumana 20 from PRA. Samoa, as the public cry continues to grow, will we see anytime soon you guys reducing the pump prices more?
We have a 2 weeks period, and within the next 2 weeks we'll look at the numbers again and do another release.
And we are hoping for the best.
we all look for the best.
Well, this is how we bring the curtain down for today's edition of the program. Good morning, Sierra Leone. Many thanks to our guests for being part of the program this morning, Madam May and Samu from Democracy, and Sumana from NPI, and Madam Julia from 50-50. Well, many thanks to the production team, especially Daphne Zainab Kamal, for putting this program together, and to all the technical people behind the camera and also in the control room. My name is Frances Parad, wishing you a wonderful and lovely day. Good morning.
I have been Emmanuel Sama, but before we go, let's take the quote again. It's from French author Antonin, and it says, "Perfection is achieved, not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away." Stay glued to the SLBC. Good morning, Sierra returns tomorrow, same time. Goodbye.
Across Saloni, more people are asking the same question. Why buy fuel anywhere else when Cornex gives you more? Professionally trained attendants who know service matters. Honest fuel. A litre is a litre every single time. And when it's time to pay, easy. Pay with mobile money, Visa or MasterCard, or the Cornex fuel card. Clean restrooms, welcoming spaces. Every station, every time. Clean fuel, clean spaces, clear value. That's why Sierra Leone fuels with Cornex. Cornex retail outlets. Always clean, always professional, always for you. Fuel smart, live smart. Get your Cornex fuel card today.
As a mother of the house, whenever I want to prepare palm soup, there's no need pounding palm fruit. All I need is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. My soup is done, and its preparation, it is not difficult at all. Nkulenu palm soup base, it's easily done with no difficulties. Just take few ladles and your soup is done. And its flavor, it's amazing. This is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. And this is Nkulenu's Ghana's original spiced palm soup base. Iron fruit and turkey berries are naturally added.
Also available brown gold natural cocoa powder, sunny gold brown sugar, meat fufu flour, shito, pisa, and moringa. All available at Nyami Ado Enterprise, 1 Lower Waterloo Street, Freetown.
Nkulenu palm soup base.
Ghanaian original taste.